Um, about 5 years ago, I started a remodeling project in this house, and this is when supernatural activity started on the premises. Um, Now, I was photographing everything, so I photographed it all as it happened. And it wasn't really, it never felt like a haunting as such. It was more of a communication event. It was never anything to be scared of. It was exhilarating because I knew that this was a communication event. Something was trying to show me something. It was trying to get my attention, and this is just this went on for about a year. They, they whatever this is would show up whenever I would pull my camera out, basically, and it was obvious that they were trying to tell me something. They were trying to show me something, and this is just kind of a montage of the different orbs and ectoplasm and things that went flying around the property. Uh, it started off in the house, but I kept on following these, whatever you want to call them, this supernatural activity outside. And I think that's where they were leading me outside to show me something. And every time there was a weather event on this property, the creek would bubble up like a witch's cauldron. And would continue for a while after it stopped raining. And I associated a lot of this with acid rain and limestone deposits and iron and everything in the water. But I also noticed that the supernatural activity increased every time some of these events happened. Now, at one point, there was it started to snow outside. And this top left corner shows you outside my front porch what it looked like. And these snowflakes looked enormous to me. So I pulled out my camera and I snapped some photographs. And the picture to the right is a little more of a close-up. The picture to the left bottom is a more close-up. And the bottom right is even more close-up. Now, it was obvious to me that these were not snowflakes. You can guess all day what these things were, but you can make any kind of guess. The bottom right corner, to me, looks like Pegasus. Well, think of it whatever you want to, but I had this documented on film, so I know something was going on. And I know that they were trying to show me something, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. This led to which we'll talk about in a few minutes, the actual discovery of the trail and the petroglyphs that surrounded it. This is just an example of one of the stones and rocks that I found, and to me, it's obvious. You can make the argument that this is a natural formation, but if you do, then you can make the argument in the providence of God in nature, because it's pretty astounding. The other way you can go is that these are rock petroglyphs of unknown origin. At this point, I wanted to make a shameless plug for my book, which is it's kind of important to the story. I knew that what was going on in Clover Hollow was more important than the archaeological discovery. It all had to do with the kind of spiritual conundrum I had, that how could I have come to a place in Clover Hollow by random chance that was connected to three of my first generation grandfathers? It just seemed very hard to believe that. So, what my thoughts were, if I was brought here for a reason, what was that reason? Who brought me here, and what was I supposed to find? So that's why and also nobody believed the story, so I had to self-publish my own book. And this book has over 300 photographs and explores the geology of the place, explores the history of the place, explores the archaeological discovery of the place. But the answers to my dilemma were found in Cherokee folklore and traditions of the area. It really had to do with the nature and spirit relationship. And I spent 3 years heavily researching this book, and I believe I came up with the answers onto why I was brought here. And I came up with 3 reasons why I was brought here. Of course, you have to read the book to find out. But I had to put it in there because it really has to do with the story itself and how everything developed. Okay, back to our story.